Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do a geometry problem where we have a set of parallel lines and a transversal line going through it as such. And we're tasked with finding the measure of A, B, and C. Okay? So to start things off, we might notice that 3A and B are vertically opposite angles. And we know that that means they're equivalent. And so that means that 3A is equal to B. Okay? Now, if we look at the two angles at this intersection, we see that 2A and C make up one side of the line, and so that means that they have to add up to a total of 180 degrees, meaning they're supplementary, and so we can write an equation out of that. We can write that 2A plus C equals 180 degrees, okay? Then, we might notice next that we can see a C theorem popping out, right? The C theorem says that we have a transversal to a set of parallel lines, co-interior angles, like 3A and 2A are supplementary, again, meaning they add up to 180 degrees, and so that means we get the equation 3A plus 2A is also equal to 180 degrees. And that means we can solve this equation, right? This is only one unknown in an equation. And so 3A plus 2A, of course, gives us 5A is equal to 180. And we know how to solve those. We divide by 5. And we find that A first is equal to 36 degrees, okay? Now, from there, we can plug it back into here. And then we can probably plug it back into here to find B and C respectively. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's plug A into our 2A plus C is equal to 180 equation, right? That'll mean that 2 times A being 36 plus C is equal to 180. That's a fairly straightforward equation to solve. You guys know how to solve that. And that means that C is equal to 108 degrees, okay? One thing that I always recommend my students do is check to make sure your answers are reasonable or plausible, we should say. 180 degrees is more than 90 degrees. Does this look like an obtuse angle? It does, right? At least eyeballing it can tell us whether or not it's absurd or not in terms of the numbers that we got, okay? And again, A being 36 degrees, that means that 2A is 72 degrees. This interior angle here looks like 72 degrees. It's less than 90 degrees for sure. And so at least our answers are reasonable, okay? And then last, we have the equation from the very beginning, from vertically opposite angles that 3A is equal to B. And so since we know that A is 36, we can plug that in. 3 times 36 is equal to B, which means that 108 degrees is equal to B, okay? And so that means that B and C are actually equal to one another, and you might have been able to guess that because with these kinds of problems, there's usually so many different strategies to get to the same conclusion. You might have argued that B and this angle here are corresponding angles, and so that means that B is the same angle down here. And then you might have argued that these two angles are vertically opposite, and so those two are also equal to one another, and so that means that B is equal to C, and we see that from the measures we got for them originally. So I hope this helps. I hope you're starting to piece things together, and thanks for watching.